Alto moved through the forest. If not for the chirping of birds above, he might have been scared. If not for the sun, he'd be terrified. If not for... God's damn it, he blurted out. Alto was scared. Absolutely terrified. He was alone, in the middle of a forest, with a lute. A lute? What was he going to do? Play a tune to a bear as it eats him? What if it was worse? Something like a chimera. His frantic fear caused his eyes to sweep about madly as he sought a way out of this mess. Soon the sun set, and he was shrouded in darkness. He didn't even continue the performance of a brave face. No, a full-on panic had set in, and he didn't notice as he stumbled out of the trees and fell into a small moonlit pond. Something screamed as he pushed his head out of the water. He saw what looked like a woman bathing on the other side of the small pond, except she had wings. Welcome back to Mythical Phylogeny Adventures. Today, we turn our attention to the dragon woman known as the Vouivre. Let's take a look at this strange member of the draconoid family. The Vouivre comes from French mythology, with two descriptions, and is almost always said to be female. One older and the other more recent. Both share a few similarities. The name originally comes from the word Vouivre, which means wyvern or worm. In time, it became what it is now. The oldest descriptions say that the Vouivre is a female dragon, or a winged serpent. From head to tail, it is only about 12 feet or 4 meters. In the more modern interpretation, we have one with a female form, a torso which resembles a woman. This take comes from Melusine from the 14th century. She was a woman, said to have a serpent or fish from the waist down. Often she'll have wings. She is often seen bathing in holy water. I think you can see why people would make this connection. It also does help that the first tales of the Vouivre talk about her adorning herself in jewelry and even a dress. Part of the problem is that until only the last century, the term wyvern, drake, dragon, wyrm, and so on were used to describe the same thing. As the fantasy genre has grown, people have latched onto a term used in one language and adapted it to a different strain of dragon. Someday, I plan on doing a video breaking down each and every different term for dragon. There's a few. This has led the term Vouivre going from the meaning of one particular female dragon to being a species of woman-like dragons. I'll use images of both takes throughout this video. They still share a few other key details. It has a red gem or a diamond set in a tiara on its head, or directly into its skull. Many refer to it as a carbuncle. While the Vouivre flies, it is visible. It makes what looks like a fiery streak in the air, like a comet. It is this gemstone which gives the Vouivre its vision. Without it, it is blind. This is why the Vouivre is often said to only have one eye, which is also the gemstone. It is often sought after by thieves and wizards. You see, the Vouivre's ruby is valuable. It works as a powerful source of magic. They only bathe once or twice a year, depending on the source. It is usually Christmas Eve or Easter, usually around 11 p.m. This is done because at this time, any pious person should be at Mass. The Vouivre is neurotic about timing. She always eats and drinks at the same time. Vouivre has to remove the gem in order to bathe. It isn't mentioned what happens if the Vouivre tries to bathe with the ruby still set in her head. Does the act damage the gem? Potentially cause permanent blindness? I don't know. Maybe it just gets painful, or makes vision blurry for a while. Kind of like taking a shower with glasses on. Regardless, the Vouivre will hide her gem on the shore or beneath a large stone. There are a few more noticeable traits. They live in caverns or abandoned monasteries. But there is one thing above all else. These aren't empty. No, the Vouivre is greedy. She is the reason that dragons are said to love gold. The Vouivre's hoards are said to be a fortune. They are not hostile to humans, unless, of course, you happen to be trying to harm or steal from them. Otherwise, they are tolerant of humans, but still, they choose to live in isolated places, mostly due to not wanting thieves trying to steal their gold. That's a lot of information to start with. Let's start with the prized jewel. How can the gem provide vision? Maybe. You've heard that your eye has a lens. This is a tough but clear material produced by the body that is used to focus light onto the retina for vision. So, is this what the Vouivre's gem is? Can it be removed? Well, it turns out that you can. Your vision is just blurry and can't focus for near or far objects. This is actually a surgery done for cataracts in 1753 in Paris, but they'll normally replace it with an artificial lens in the modern era. This is called an intracapsular cataract extraction. So perhaps the carbuncle is a modified lens which brings light in from a dozen different directions at once. This means that their eye is made of a stronger substance. Without a sample, I can't discern the exact type. But if the crystal is for sight, we can compare it to a laser crystal, which helps focus light. And yes, rubies are used here. Kind of. It is more of a sapphire with additional chromium ions. This may work very nicely. If the gem is multifaceted, it can bring in light and redirect it from multiple angles onto the retina, which is where the gem attaches. If it sticks out a little, it can offer the Vouivre a wider range of vision than one would expect with a single eye, potentially up to 180 degrees of vision, depending on the shape of the gemstone. This could also redirect other light hitting it and reflect it back, giving it a shining description. It'll need a socket to hold the gem with a strong sphincter-like muscle to hold it in place. The skin behind the gemstone will be a modified retina with nerve endings. It will make the area sensitive without the gem for protection. Now, this isn't the only type of dracnoid which has a gemstone like this. Some of the North American horned serpents have gemstones also. They are said to offer prophetic powers. It's possible that the Vouivres have a similar effect, but the magic from the Vouivre's gem isn't directly specified. Potentially, it helps to align magical currents in spells. Vouivre is also said to have a poisonous breath in more recent accounts. There are a couple options here. 1. Weaponization of gastric acid. This means the ability to basically vomit up stomach acid. Wonderful acid reflux. That'll damage the esophagus, which is why I like the second option better. Have a gland produce it in the mouth and release it when exhaling. You could get more range by using the beating of the wings to produce a strong air current. So, why does she collect all that gold? It is well documented that the Vouivre loves jewelry. They are often seen wearing necklaces and crowns. Could greed be an innate trait of theirs? We know that the Vouivre are intelligent. They understand human beliefs and traditions. They can plan, take preventive action. So she has to have a reason, right? What could it be? I don't think it holds a social status amongst them. They are solitary and live in isolation. They don't invest it either. So what do we gain by hoarding wealth? Vanity, perhaps? This is hard to say. What do you think, adventurers? Why does she gather more gold than a king? The answer may come from the choice of their homes. They often live in abandoned monasteries, holy places. Yes, and it is said that holy magic is their weakness. Could the gold be brought as a means to negate the residual holy energy within the structure? That is the most likely answer, I believe. When you battle the Vouivre, be smart. She is, and you need to be too. When she bathes and removes her eye, she is the most susceptible. You'll want to send in your rogue first. Watch where she places her gem, and then sneak in and snatch it up. Then you have the advantage. Or you can have your mage use telekinesis to snatch it from her head at a distance. You aren't safe yet. Vouivre can't see you, but she can hear still. Exploit the lake she is hiding in. Send a flurry of stones landing into the lake to keep her distracted. Better still, I would turn to your mage. Your party has one, right? She should still be in the lake. It is water. That opens up the classic 3 schools of magic: ice, fire, and lightning. Freeze the water and immobilize her. Boil or electrify the water to damage her. She'll resist magic, but still useful. If you freeze the lake, she won't be able to fly. No escaping to where the carbuncle is hidden, or to safety. Just because she is trapped doesn't mean she is defenseless. She can breathe. Keep your distance from her corrosive breath. Armor won't protect you here, but a strong wind spell can blow it away from you. But don't send it back towards her. It won't damage her. You won't be able to close in on her with a sword. And lastly, it can break the ice that is holding her. A rain or mist spell will help limit its effect. A poison neutralizing spell from a cleric would be better though. On that note, that is one of the Vouivre's greatest weaknesses. She can't resist holy magic. A powerful cleric can be invaluable here. Best to have one as well. If you don't, well, it is time for some sword work. You'll need to get in close, and that is going to be a problem. She has a long tail that will outreach a spear. Around 8 or 9 feet. She can grab and crush you with her tail. That is why I like the ice trick. It'll limit the tail. With a sword, you'll need to avoid the arms in the front, the wings in the back, plus the poison breath. The arms are shorter, and probably the easier route to go in, except for her breath. Her scales are tough, and you'll need some force to overcome, but they are not impervious. If she wraps around you, you want to unwind rather than try and pull her off. Be sure to keep your hands free, and use a blade to saw through her. There is a very sketchy thing with multiple sources saying that it works, but a few where it did fail. What is it? Well, a barrel filled with spikes. Yeah, this sounds weird. So, what you do is trick the Vouivre into charging at you, and then jumping out of the way. Let her land in the barrel, where the spikes will cut her up. Others claim to wear the barrel with spikes coming out of where she will try and wrap around and get impaled. Now, remember, this isn't 100% effective. Only try it when she is blinded, and she is chasing you. As for armor, neither gambeson or chainmail will stop her from crushing you with her tail. You'll need to go with plate armor. You could put spikes on your armor to try the same trick as the barrel. It might help. If she whips you with her tail, most armor isn't going to offer perfect protection, but better than nothing, yes? If she gets into the air, she can fly around and breathe the corrosive breath down. Get to cover, in a cave, or a way to protect yourself. If you have the gem, you can fly and hope she never finds you. If not, get an arrow and open fire. The worst case scenario is if she gets the ruby back. Well, She'll chase you to the ends of the earth. Oh, and she will outspeed you by the air. She'll circle about and trap you in a cloud of poison gas. If that is the case, you are basically dead. There is one option. Perhaps you could bribe her for safety? Gold? Jewelry? Is it worth it? Would she take it? Probably not. She'll just kill you and take it off your corpse. The Vouivre isn't an easy foe, and why I am giving her a 7 of 10 for difficulty. She has high mobility in flight. She also has a deadly attack that she can use at range, even in the air. A long tail for close quarter combat. Honestly, what holds her back is two things. One, she has a massive weakness in being blinded while bathing, and it is predictable when she will do this. And two, her skills, while tough, can be damaged with enough force and luck. If you can try your luck, you can get in and bring her down. First up, the carbuncle. The gemstone taken from the Vouivre is worth a king's ransom on the low end. If you can get just one, you can retire and live a nice and comfortable life until the end of your days. You may even be able to leave your children a nice inheritance. It is also invaluable for a wizard. If you can get one for your staff, it'll amplify your magic. You can create a legendary level staff, one worth to be spoken of by the bards for ages. It can be used to perform powerful rituals. After that, we have her scaly skin. You can use it to make leather armor, shields, and what else. Her flesh is edible, if a little questionable. Her blood is dragon blood though, and can be used in several potions. Yet that isn't the real option. Remember, she hoards gold, lots of it. It'll be in her monastery, where she is all alone. She'll leave it at the same time and bathe at a known date and time. That is when you go in and steal the gold. Get in and get out fast. There's no need to fight her. Go and be stealthy. Why put your life in danger for a bit of gold? Sure, you'll get a bigger payday from the carbuncle, but she's got more money than a king does. I'm sure that she'll never notice missing a couple of chests of gold. Now, there's one last thing to look at. Could you work with a Vouivre? She is intelligent and can talk. She isn't actively hostile to humans. That means it is an option, but probably not. She is a loner, and that means she won't come out, unless you can offer a monetary incentive. Mind you, it'll probably be a large sum that you'll need to amass. The Vouivre looked about, her ears strained for any sound in the lake. She could hear the gentle lapping of water on the shoreline and insects buzzing about in the air. Without her gem, she was blind. Fear got hold of her, and she swam to the shoreline, straight for Alto. The bard scrambled backwards. He paddled loudly in the water and drew the Vouivre's ire. Someone was here. Someone was after her carbuncle. The Vouivre rushed forward, faster and faster. Alto scrambled into the mud and tripped on a large stone. He shoved it aside, and a large, brilliant gem glistened in the moonlight beneath it. Alto didn't notice it at the time. The only thing he wanted to do was flee. He raced into the forest as the Vouivre groped about for the stone. She screamed into night as she found the exposed ruby. Placing it in her head, she took to the sky to find the culprit. She sped through the air, but Alto was already too far under the forest canopy. Her cries forced him to go further and faster into the night, oblivious to the dangers ahead. The Vouivre is an interesting creature, one that has changed and evolved over the centuries. She can be dangerous and needs to be handled with care and planning, else you may very likely die. Thank you for watching, adventurers. please return next week for the Mokele Mimbimbe and the Kanga Moto, a unique double feature. Until then, I'll see you on the roads.